Your life does not belong to you if you continue to let old illusions control your time and energy. There are things you carry within you without noticing, and they are slowly destroying you from the inside. This video, based on Nietzsche's philosophy, will open your eyes to what you should have left behind long ago. It will be interesting and useful to those who want to understand how to break free from chains and become their true selves. Well then, let's begin. You build your life like an intricate performance, putting on a mask every day, not for yourself, but for the expectations of others. This image you project is not you. It is a set of chains you've willingly placed upon yourself to please the crowd, to hear the faint murmur of approval. But do you realize the price you pay for this illusion? It costs you the most valuable thing you possess, your freedom. Your true self screams within, yet no one hears it because you drown it out with fear. Fear of being judged, rejected, misunderstood. This fear is your real jailer, keeping you locked in the prison of others' gazes. You're terrified that without this mask, the world will deem you insignificant. But insignificance is not about vulnerability or honesty. Insignificance is living a life perpetually hidden behind the expectations of others. Do you think this false image makes you stronger? No. It makes you weaker. Every smile you force for approval, every action taken against your true will, is a betrayal of yourself. It's a slow poison eroding your identity, leaving behind only a hollow shell. Drop the mask. Let the world see you as you truly are, with all your fears, wounds, and imperfections. Because strength doesn't come from painting a flawless picture for others. Strength lies in being authentic without embellishment or deceit. Strength lies in fully embracing yourself, even if it means the world turns away. You don't need anyone's approval to exist. You already deserve your place under the sun, simply because you breathe, live, and feel. Your worth isn't in external brilliance, but in your unique essence. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you'll be free. But remember, liberation isn't comfortable. It's painful, it's a struggle, it's a confrontation with yourself. Only in honesty with yourself is true strength born. And only those who dare to shatter their illusions can truly know freedom. There are people in your life who exist not to uplift you, but to siphon your energy, to dim your light so that their shadows feel less exposed. They cling to you, not out of love or connection, but out of their own fear of facing themselves. These are the ones who demand your warmth, while offering nothing but coldness in return. And yet, you allow them to stay. Why? Perhaps it is guilt. Perhaps it is habit. Perhaps it is the dangerous illusion that their weight is yours to carry. But hear this, you are not a savior for those who refuse to save themselves. You are not a perpetual source of light for those who bask in your glow while refusing to ignite their own spark. Every moment spent in their presence is a moment stolen from your own growth, a moment robbed from the journey you were meant to take. Their shadows stretch long and deep, not because they are strong, but because they have made a prison of your kindness. They thrive on your energy, and yet they offer you nothing but the heaviness of their burdens. These are not bonds of love or loyalty, they are chains. And the longer you stay, the more you risk becoming one of them, rooted in the same darkness you once sought to escape. You owe them nothing. Not your time, not your energy, not your strength. Letting them go is not cruelty. It is an act of self-preservation. To sever these ties is to reclaim the space they have occupied within you, to rediscover the fire that once burned bright and undimmed. Strength is not in bearing the weight of others who refuse to stand. Strength is in knowing when to let go, when to draw the line, when to say enough. In their absence, you will find a freedom you have forgotten, a clarity that was buried beneath their demands. And as your light grows unimpeded, you will see that you were never meant to be a crutch for those who will not walk. You were meant to soar, Let them linger in their shadows if that is their choice. But do not let them pull you into the darkness with them. Your light is meant for greater things. The habit of making excuses. Excuses are the chains you forge to bind yourself in place, the soft whispers of your mind that tell you failure is not your fault. You create stories, beautiful, intricate lies, to shield yourself from the harsh truth that the world does not care for your reasons, your struggles, your circumstances, your fears. They are yours to bear. The world is unmoved by your excuses. It demands action, not justification. Each excuse you make is a step away from your own power. It is a denial of responsibility, a surrender of the control you have over your life. When you blame the winds for not carrying you forward, you forget that your hands hold the oars. When you point to the storm as the reason you have not moved, you ignore the fact that storms are meant to be conquered, not feared. The habit of making excuses is seductive. It offers comfort in the face of failure, a soft cushion for your pride. But that comfort is poison. It keeps you stagnant, locked in a cycle of inaction. You trade progress for pity, growth for sympathy, and as time slips through your fingers, you realize too late that excuses have stolen the life you were meant to build. Break this habit. Abandon the stories that seek to justify why you remain where you are. Stand naked before the truth, that your life is your own to shape, and your failures are the raw material of your success. There is no shame in falling. The shame lies in refusing to rise. The world will not remember your excuses. It will only remember what you achieved despite them. Let your actions speak louder than your fears, your determination louder than your doubts. Do not wait for perfect conditions or a sign from above. Begin now with what you have, where you are. Excuses are a crutch for the weak. You are not weak. You are capable of greatness, but only if you dare to let go of the comforting lies and embrace the harsh brilliance of action. The road forward is difficult, but it is yours to walk. Do not let excuses hold you back from the horizon. The desire to please everyone, the need to be liked by all, is a curse disguised as virtue. It promises acceptance, harmony, and belonging, but in truth, it steals your essence, leaving you hollow and directionless. To seek approval from the crowd is to surrender the very core of who you are. You become a reflection of their desires, a puppet whose strings are pulled by the whims of others. In striving to be good for everyone, you abandon the one person you are truly meant to serve, yourself. There is no greatness in being universally liked. To please all is to stand for nothing. The person who bends to every demand, who alters their shape to fit every mold, is not admired, they are pitied. For in their eagerness to avoid rejection, they erase their own identity, sacrificing authenticity for the shallow comfort of conformity. The world does not respect those who bow to its every command. It respects those who have the courage to defy it, to stand firm in their truth even when it is inconvenient, unpopular, or misunderstood. To be true to yourself is to invite conflict, yes, but it is also to demand respect. A flame that burns for everyone is quickly extinguished. A flame that burns for itself endures. You are not a mirror for others to see themselves in. You are not clay to be shaped by their hands. You are fire. You are stone. You are something unyielding and alive. To live for others is to deny the gift of your individuality. To live for yourself is to honor the unique path only you can walk. Let them misunderstand you. Let them criticize you. Let them turn away if they must. The approval of the world is fleeting, but the approval of your own soul is eternal. The desire to please all is a prison of your own making. Tear down its walls, stand in the open air, unbound, unapologetic, unafraid. For only then will you truly live. The waste of time. Time is the only currency that cannot be replenished, the most precious resource you will ever possess, and yet you squander it with the mindless scroll of your phone, the endless distractions that promise nothing but the illusion of engagement. Each swipe, each idle moment is a thief in the night, stealing from you the very essence of your potential. You scroll, and the hours slip through your fingers like sand, until one day you realize that the life you could have lived has been slowly chipped away by the noise of an unimportant world. What are you doing with your time? When you immerse yourself in distractions, you are not living, you are merely existing. You are a spectator in your own life, watching as it passes you by, as your dreams and ambitions fade into the background of endless, irrelevant content. The world will not wait for you. It will not pause while you search for meaning in a sea of mindless entertainment. It moves forward, and so must you. The more you give your attention to meaningless pursuits, the more you diminish your capacity for greatness. Your potential is not a fleeting thing. It is a wellspring that you control, but only if you choose to guard it. Every moment spent in frivolous activity is a moment you will never get back, a moment lost in the abyss of indifference. Stop feeding the beast of distraction. Stop allowing the world to dictate your focus. Every hour you waste is an hour your future self will curse you for. You have the power to shape your life, but only if you are ruthless with your time. Remember this, your life is not measured by the number of likes or shares, nor by the number of videos you've watched or the endless scrolling you've done. Your life is measured by the moments that matter, the moments of creation, of thought, of action. You are not here to fill space, to numb your senses, to be a passive participant. You are here to forge, to build, to rise. The life you want is not found in the distractions of today. It is found in the dedication of tomorrow. Stop wasting your hours, for they are the building blocks of your destiny. The fear of change. Change is not your enemy. It is your crucible, the fire in which your true strength is forged. Every shift, every disruption, every moment that threatens to unseat you is not a force to be feared, but an invitation to transcend. The fear you feel when faced with change is not a warning. It's a reflection of your own limitations, a call to break free from the chains you have wrapped around your own potential. When you resist change, you resist growth. You grasp desperately at the familiar, the comfortable, the known, only to find that it is slowly suffocating you. The life you cling to, though once full of promise, begins to stagnate, its walls closing in. And yet, you choose to stay, because it is easier to remain in the cage of the past than to step into the vast, unknown wilderness of the future. But understand this: fear is the greatest chain of all. It binds you to a version of yourself that no longer serves you, that never will. Fear does not protect you, it imprisons you. It tells you to stay small, to stay silent, to stay safe. But safety is the enemy of greatness. The moment you stop fearing change, you stop living in the shadow of your past. You step into the light of your potential, a light that grows brighter with every challenge, every leap into the unknown. Change is not a threat. It is the catalyst for the life you have always wanted to live. Do not allow fear to be your master. Do not let it dictate your choices or define your path. You were not born to play it safe. You were born to shape the world, to challenge it, to reinvent yourself with every breath. The unknown is not something to fear. It is something to conquer. So, let change come. Let it shake you to your core, for in that shaking you will find the strength you never knew you had. You will find a version of yourself that is unrecognizable to the fearful, but magnificent to those who dare to see. Embrace it, step forward, for only in change will you truly discover who you are meant to be. Anger at the past. The past is a stone you carry in your heart, its weight pulling you into the depths of bitterness and regret. You have allowed it to define you, to shape your every step with its invisible chains. But what is this anger you hold so tightly? It is not a force that strengthens you. It is a poison that keeps you shackled to a time that no longer exists. You mourn the mistakes, the betrayals, the wrong turns. You cling to the injustices that were done to you, as though by holding on to this anger, you can rewrite the past. But the past cannot be rewritten. It is gone, fading like the echo of a voice that once shouted loud and clear. And yet, you let it haunt you. You let it control your present, your choices, your life. This anger is an illusion, a clever trick your mind plays on you. It convinces you that by holding on to it, you somehow retain control. But in reality, it controls you. It festers. It festers until it consumes everything in its path, leaving you empty and broken. The past, with all its pain and suffering, becomes the chain that binds you from moving forward. It is time to release it. Let go of the anger that lingers like a shadow, a ghost of what can never be changed. The lessons have been learned, the wounds have been healed, and the past no longer has power over you unless you allow it to. The path ahead is clear, but only if you are willing to step forward without the burden of history dragging at your heels. The stone is heavy, yes, but you are stronger than it. You were never meant to carry it forever. The future is not a place for the shackled, the resentful, or the broken. It is a realm for the free, for those who have shed their past and walk unburdened into the unknown. So, cast it away. Let the past crumble into dust, for it is no longer your concern. The road ahead is yours to shape, and only with the weight of the past removed can you truly begin to live. Resentment toward fate. The world owes you nothing. It never promised you fairness nor a life free from hardship. To think otherwise is to live in delusion, to waste your precious time in the belief that some cosmic force will step in and make things right. The world does not care for your suffering, your desires, your grievances. It moves forward, indifferent and relentless, and in its indifference lies your salvation. For only when you release the burden of expectation, when you accept that the universe is neither just nor unjust, but simply is, will you find the freedom to shape your own existence. The moment you stop waiting for the world to deliver what you think you are owed is the moment you begin to step into your power. Resentment toward fate is the refuge of the weak, the cry of those who refuse to accept their place in the world. It is the belief that life should bend to our whims, that we are entitled to success, love, and recognition simply for existing. But reality does not bow to our desires. The world is not our servant, it is our canvas. And only those who are brave enough to paint their own picture, without demanding the perfect conditions, will create something truly remarkable. To resent fate is to remain chained to a victim's mentality, to live in the shadow of what could have been, instead of forging ahead with what is. The truth is liberating. The world does not owe you anything, but you owe it to yourself to create the life you desire. When you stop demanding, you begin to build. When you stop blaming, you begin to act. The power to shape your reality lies in your hands, but only if you release the bitterness that comes with expecting life to give you anything. You are not a passive spectator in this world, you are its creator. So let go of the resentment, let go of the belief that fate is against you. Embrace the truth that everything you need to live a fulfilled life is already within you, waiting to be awakened. The world may not owe you anything, but it offers you everything if you are willing to seize it. Unrealistic goals. Chasing goals that are foreign to your nature is nothing more than setting yourself up for failure. These are the illusions, the mirages that glitter on the horizon, promising fulfillment, but leading you deeper into the desert of self-doubt and frustration. They are the goals imposed upon you by society, by others, by the expectations of a world that does not know your true essence. To pursue these false desires is to walk a path that was never meant for you. You are not meant to fit into the molds that others have created. You are not a product of their visions, but the architect of your own reality. And yet, so many of us fall prey to the trap of societal ambition, believing that we must chase what is deemed successful or worthy by external standards. We strive for things that are not in alignment with our soul's true calling, and in the process, we lose ourselves. The tragedy is not in failing to reach these goals, but in failing to recognize that they were never yours to begin with. You see, false goals, the ones that do not resonate with your true nature, become chains that bind you to a life of hollow achievement. You may climb the ladder, but if it is leaning against the wrong wall, your triumph will be empty. Real success, real fulfillment, comes when your goals are not dictated by the noise of the outside world, but by the voice within you. When you align your desires with your true self, the path becomes clear, and even the hardest challenges seem surmountable. There is power in knowing who you are, in understanding what truly stirs your soul, and in pursuing that with all the vigor of your being. Do not waste your time on goals that do not serve you. Stop living for the approval of others and begin living for the approval of your own soul. The goals you were meant to achieve are already within you, waiting to be realized. It is not about the destination that others have set for you, but about the journey that you alone are destined to take. So let go of the false goals. Let go of the pressure to live someone else's dream. Find the path that resonates with your deepest desires and let it guide you. For only then will you discover the true power of your own potential. Toxic surroundings. There are people in your life who do not nourish your spirit, but drain it. They are the ones who feed on your insecurities, who thrive on your doubt, who pull you down into the darkness of their own unresolved fears. These people do not care about your growth. They care only about keeping you at their level. For if you rise, their shadows will no longer have power over you. You do not owe them your energy. You do not owe them your light. The idea that you must save them is a lie, a trap designed to keep you tethered to their misery. It is not your duty to carry the weight of others' brokenness when you are struggling to hold your own. Your time, your energy, your soul are too precious to be spent on those who only seek to consume them without ever offering anything in return. To remain in toxic environments is to choose to live in a cage of your own making. Their doubts become your doubts, their fears become your fears, and in the process you lose sight of who you truly are. The longer you stay, the less you become yourself. You begin to shrink, to conform to their smallness, to their limitations. But you are not meant to be small. You are not meant to be diminished by the toxic energy of those who refuse to grow. You are meant to soar, to expand, to rise above the noise and the negativity. Your power is limitless, but only if you choose to surround yourself with those who see your greatness, who encourage you to stretch beyond the boundaries of what you thought was possible. You are not a savior, you are a creator. And to create the life you desire, you must first remove the forces that pull you away from your truth. The people who do not support your growth, who do not believe in your potential, are not your responsibility. They are a distraction, an anchor that drags you into the depths. It is time to leave them behind. Time to cut the ties that bind you to their negativity. Your journey is too important to be weighed down by the chains of toxic relationships. Walk away. Let them live their lives, for they will only drag you down if you allow it. Surround yourself with those who lift you, who inspire you, who challenge you to become more than you ever thought possible. Only then will you truly become the person you were meant to be. The idea of the perfect life, The notion of the perfect life is a cage, a golden illusion meant to keep you chained to a version of success that never truly belongs to you. Society, with its shallow promises and hollow standards, tells you what you should be, what you should have, how you should live. It paints a picture of a life defined by wealth, fame, and shallow accomplishments. But these are not the markers of true success. They are distractions, traps designed to keep you in line with the herd. You are not here to conform. You are not here to chase someone else's dream. The life that society tells you to aspire to is not yours. It is a fabrication, an image projected onto you by those who do not have the courage to live their own truth. To follow this path is to surrender your uniqueness, to give up the very essence of who you are. True greatness comes not from fitting into the mold of someone else's success, but from forging your own way. Your path, though it may be difficult and uncharted, is the only one that truly matters. It is the only path that will lead you to the life that is uniquely yours. To abandon the cookie-cutter ideals of perfection is to step into your own power, to embrace the beauty of your individuality. You are not meant to be like everyone else. You were not born to fit into a rigid box of expectations. Your life does not have to look like anyone else's. It only needs to reflect who you are, what you truly desire, and how you wish to contribute to the world. Let go of the societal templates of success. Let go of the pressure to perform, to accumulate, to succeed by the standards of a world that does not know you. Your journey is sacred. Your path is yours to create. No one else can walk it for you. And only when you stop trying to fit into the mold of perfection that others have cast for you, will you discover what true freedom and fulfillment feel like. Your life, when lived authentically, will be far more extraordinary than any preordained version of success. It will be rich with meaning, with depth, with the joy of knowing that you are living according to your own truth. And in that, you will find a greatness that no societal ideal could ever offer. Envy of others' success. Envy is the silent confession of your own inadequacy, a reflection of the inner weakness you refuse to acknowledge. It arises not from the successes of others, but from the belief that you are somehow less, that their achievement is a blow to your own worth. But in truth, envy is a trap, a lie that keeps you shackled to a life of limitation, to envy another's. Success is to deny your own potential. It is to place the power of your fulfillment in the hands of someone else, to believe that their victory somehow diminishes your own. But this is the cruelest of illusions. The success of others does not take anything away from you. It only reveals what is possible. And in that revelation, there is an opportunity, not for resentment, but for growth. Envy thrives in the shadows of self-doubt. It feeds on the belief that there is a finite amount of success, that the triumph of another somehow leaves you with less. But success is not a limited resource. The world is vast, and there is room for you, just as there is for them. To see someone's success and feel envy is to miss the point entirely, to blind yourself to the possibilities within your own reach. When you shed envy, you break free of the chains that bind you to comparison. You stop measuring your worth against the standards of others, and you begin to see your own unique potential. You are not them. You do not need to be. Your path is not theirs to walk, and their success does not diminish your own. The moment you release envy, you open the door to your own greatness. You begin to see the opportunities that were always there, waiting for you to claim them. The world is not a competition. It is a canvas, and your success is not defined by anyone else's. Stop looking at others and feeling less. Instead, look inward and ask yourself, what is within me that has yet to be realized? The moment you let go of envy, you free yourself to become the person you were always meant to be. And in that freedom, you will find your true power. As you step away from the chains of these illusions, Remember that true freedom lies in embracing your own path, unburdened by the expectations and judgments of others. You are not defined by the world's standards, but by the power within you. Now, walk forward with courage and authenticity, for your journey is uniquely yours. May you find the strength to shed what no longer serves you and embrace the life you were meant to create. The world awaits your greatness.